Hi guys, so welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a prom makeup look for you guys. So I'm kind of giving you some inspiration. The look that I'm going to be creating today is one that I probably will do on prom. So usually before prom I'll always test on my makeup look at least once just to kind of get an idea of what I want to do, so on the day of I'm not scrambling. For me, on prom day I have a bunch of my friends here, and so I'm getting them ready. I'm doing their makeup. And so usually I'm the last person to get ready. So I also can't do a look that's going to take me like 6 hours to do because I won't have that much time because I'll be busy getting other people ready, which is completely fine. I love doing it. That's why they all come here, because they obviously know that I'm into makeup and they know that I can do makeup, and I just really enjoy doing it, because obviously if I didn't enjoy it then I wouldn't do it. But yeah, so this look, it's going to be put together, but it's not going to be overdone. There's so many girls when it comes to prom, and a lot of them don't have a lot of knowledge on makeup, and a lot of them, some of them do, but some girls go so overboard, and I don't want that, especially like this year. This is my senior year, and I know a lot of people look back on their prom days, and they're like, wow, like, what was I doing? And I don't want to do that. So I know makeup styles and stuff change as the years go on, but I want this to be a fresh face. I want to have a little bit of a glow to my skin. I don't need like a suction matte, flat matte look on my skin. I have normal to dry skin, so I kind of want a little more illumination. My eye look is going to go with my dress. My dress is like a mauve purpley. It's like sparkly on the top, purplish, kind of flow on the bottom, and so I want to do an eye look that kind of goes with that. And I did find my Jaclyn Hill palette from the Evolve collection. This is the Bling Boss one. Works really well, and one thing I really like about this is this palette's only $15, so if you do have a dress color that's similar to mine and you want to try it out, spend the $15 and get this palette. It's not expensive really at all, and it's a good price for good quality eyeshadows. I'll probably also reach into my original Jaclyn Hill palette, which again, this big palette is only like $36 or $38, which is not bad at all. This is a great palette. I bought it when it like first launched. I think it was like a year and a half ago. And I absolutely love this palette. It is like my all-time favorite. I think every single person needs to own this palette because you could do any look with it. And this one is definitely a little more warm tone, but then I pull in the cool tone shades from the Bling Boss palette, and there you go. So then I got my purples and everything else. So I want to keep this look affordable. Most of this stuff is drugstore. I have a couple high-end products to throw in just because I kind of wanted the luxury, or just wanted to have a couple high-end products. If you have products that are like this that you love, use those products. So without further ado, I think we should just get right into the video. I'm gonna do my eyes first just because I'm sick, and usually I do my face first, but because this look is a little bit more like more for like a formal event or everything, and it's like I really want to focus on the eye look, I'm gonna do my eyes first. Normally on an everyday basis, I just do my face first. So I'm gonna zoom you in. I'm just gonna take my Maybelline Total Temptation Brow Definer. This is the shade Blonde. I like a lot of brow pencils. This is just the one I have. I also have the e.l.f. Ultra Precise. The shade is just a little off for me. I really like the Loreal. This one, if you have a lot to fill in, I don't think you will like this because this will not really stick to the skin very well, although I wore it yesterday and I think it looks pretty good, but my brows are fuller, so I kind of just have to fill in sparse areas. But if you have to like really like go in and actually draw out your brows because they're so like sparse or whatever, then I would not really recommend this product just because I think it's not going to stick to your skin very well. This could also be like a bridesmaid or just a formal event eye look. So this is also a more angled tip, so if you don't like the angled tip pencil, I do have this e.l.f. Ultra Precise one. This one's like $5 at the Target or the drugstore. You can also get this at Ulta. Ulta also sells LA Girl, which has like a $2.99 brow pencil. I've heard it's good. I've never tried it, but I'm not too picky with my brow pencils. I like them to be a little bit creamy and a little bit waxy. I don't want them to be too waxy, but I don't want them to be too creamy. Just like the perfect mix. And I'm just going to kind of roughly fill them in at first. I can always go back and touch them up later. That's another tip I have for you, is you can always go back in and touch it up later. So don't spend 20 years trying to perfect your brows and waste so much time on it, because like you do them at first and you don't really like how they look, move on, go do your eyes, and then come back to them and fix them after you've given a break. Because sometimes when you're staring at it for so long, you get so obsessive about it. And then that's just like not enjoyable. Now I'm going to move on to the eyes. So I'm going to take my CoverGirl Lid Lockup eyeshadow primer. This is an inexpensive eyeshadow primer. It is so nice. It is sticky. It really does hold the eyeshadow in place. I've used this for months now. I love this product, but I did an eye look yesterday. I filmed it. Like 8 hours later, I looked at my makeup and I was like, oh my gosh, like the eyeshadow still looks amazing. And obviously it's the eyeshadow primer because I feel like the shadows wouldn't do that without a primer. I really recommend a primer. If you're going to be going to an event, you're going to have your makeup on all day long, definitely have an eyeshadow primer. Now I'm going to go into my Jaclyn Hill palette. I do want to set my lid. I know a lot of people say not to set your lid, so the shadow grips onto it better, but I feel like I'm not going in right with a shimmer. I am going to go in with some mattes in my crease, and I think it's going to stick a little bit, so that's why I'm setting my lid. Also, this eyeshadow primer doesn't really cover veins, which you can use concealer to cover your veins up first and then put the primer on top if you want, but when I set it, you can tell a difference already. Just putting this translucent powder on top did actually add some coverage and kind of cancel out the veining in the eye, and it just made it look a little bit more perfected and just smoothed out and ready for eyeshadow application. I'm going to go into the Vault Collection palette, the Bling Boss one first, and take Hush Hush, which is just that cool tone, kind of purpley gray shade, and just fluff that in the crease. I don't want my eye look to be this super intricate look. I want it to look really pretty. I almost want it to look like I spent more time doing it than I did. I obviously want the emphasis to be on my dress and everything, and I do want my makeup to look really pretty, but I don't want it to look too overdone. I don't want heavy liner, because I notice some people too, when they do makeup for events, they go heavy on the eyeliner. They have really black, they like really overdo it on the eyes, and it almost like takes away from the beauty and makes it look, I know like you want the lashes and everything, and I get that, like I want the lashes too, but I think sometimes people go from never wearing makeup or like eyeliner and all this stuff to all of a sudden really overdoing it, and then it's too much that it doesn't look natural. And not that like this makeup looks natural, but it doesn't look right with the person. Like for me, I don't wear a lot of eyeliner on the everyday basis. I don't wear eyeliner very often, like at all, and so I'm not going to put a thick black line. I'm not going to like put eyeliner in my waterline. I'm not going to do all that because it doesn't make sense for me, because I don't do that, and so that's not hope, you know what I'm saying? I'm just going to kind of go in. I honestly don't really want a lot of darkness in my crease. I think I am just going to build this shade up, maybe add one more shade just to emphasize the outer half of my crease. That's about it. I think I'm going to take Mystic, which is this darker shade, because I don't want it to be too purpley or too red, and this one's just like a little more neutral. And I'm just going to take the slightest bit just to deepen it up. I really tapped off my brush. And just to add a little bit of depth in my crease. See that? Like the slightest bit. And it'll just give it a little bit more dimension, but like just the slightest bit. And I'm trying to make this like the least complicated too, because like I said, I don't have a lot of time to do it on myself. And honestly, I would rather spend my time not doing my makeup for 3 hours, because it's like you're gonna wash it off at the end of the day anyway. Even though, I mean, I do spend a lot of time doing my makeup a lot of times, but I'm gonna go back into the brush that I originally used just to fluff it out. This shade Ballsy is the like perfect shade for that, and I know that this shade doesn't really isn't as good as these two shimmers in the palette, so I might dip into Bling Bling, which is up here, just to add a little bit more of a sheen. I am going to wet my brush. This is the Badescu facial spray, but I'm going to dip into the shadow first. This shadow is definitely a lot more pressed and not like as glittery. I mean, I don't mind it. I can work with it, but... And then I'm just really going to press it and drag Do you see that? That is so pretty. I'm the type of person that does bring the shadow pretty far over. I don't really stop like halfway. I will go back and add a little bit here just to blend it in the outer, but I'm going to kind of pretty much bring it all the way over for now. See how pretty that is? I'm going to go back into Mystic again, just the darker shade, just to make sure I didn't lose any of that in the crease, I mean in the outer. Blend it all out. I do want a little bit more shimmer, so I'm going to take my Colourpop Super Shock Shadow in Ladybird, which is literally just a really light, shimmery, it's pretty much just a glittery shadow. And just put a little bit on top just to add a sheen. The trick with this stuff too, just going back and blending out again and just making sure everything is blended seamlessly. I didn't add anything to the brush. I'm just going in and making sure everything is blended out. Take the original brush I used to set with that cream matte shade and just fluff out the edges. Make sure the inner corner here is brightened. I'm gonna add some liquid liner. This is just the Revlon Colorstay. I don't love this one. It's okay. It's just what I have, so I'm kind of using it. I have heard that the Makeup Revolution, the Flick liquid liner, I might try that one out before prom, is really good. I'm just going to make a really thin line along my lashes, just so I have, like, it just kind of closes out the lash band when I do add false lashes. So that's what I'm going to do now. Now it's time for mascara. Okay, this is the optional step. If you want to make it look like a Bam Bling eye look, you can add false lashes. Today, I actually might be wearing this look just out as my everyday look, so I don't think I'm going to add lashes just because I want it to look a little more natural. But if you really want it to look more bling, you can add lashes. I do like these fakesy lashes. I do have a code, I believe, down in the description box if you want to use them. They're linked down below. These are pretty good. Eyelure, of course. These are the ones I actually wore last year to prom. These were really big. I don't know if I would want to go this big again this year because these were like mega lash. But lashes do add a lot to your look. Like mega lash. So if you want like some intenseness to amp up your look, definitely add a lash. I'm just going to add mascara for now just because I know that I'm going to wear this probably out in public today and I don't really need that extra glam at the moment. I'm just going to curl my lashes. I'm going to add mascara. My battery's probably going to, yep. Oh, as I was saying, my camera is probably going to overheat, so I'm going to put mascara on. My camera overheated. So, I did put on mascara on my top lashes. I did the Essence Lash Princess, and also I have a sample of the Tarte Maneater mascara, so I put that on. I did prime my face while I was kind of letting it cool down. I used my L'Oreal Magic Perfecting Base, of course, I love this stuff, on my nose and my chin. I used the NYX Hydra Touch Primer to hydrate and moisturize. I did use a face oil this morning on my skin, so it does have a little bit of moisture already. I'm also going to spray this Garnier Skin Active Soothing Facial Mist. This was sent to me by Influencer. I'm not sure how I exactly feel about it just because I don't really like the sprayer on it. I just want some hydration in my skin. I was doing my foundation mixing video, which I will link down below if you have not seen it. I mixed a bunch of popular foundations together, like 2 foundations a day. There was like 4 foundations, and for 6 days I mixed 2 together to see what combination I liked the best. And the L'Oreal Infallible Fresh Wear, along with the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Foundation, was one that really surprised me, and I actually wrote it down saying prom makeup. So I'm going to play around with this today. I'm going to apply it with a sponge. I'm going to use my Real Techniques like diamond sponge. I haven't used this one in a while, but I don't want a lot. I don't want to be a cake face. I am just going to take a dot of each. I don't want this to be like a super full cover. I mean, this is going to have like coverage, but I don't want it to be too much or anything. Like, I want this to be a covered but natural radiant skin look. I don't feel like I need to add 10 tons of foundation on. I'm trying this combination. I don't know. I liked it in that video. I don't know if I'll like it for prom. I feel like I might. I don't know. We're seeing. This is definitely going to be not an illuminating finish though. It is going to have a little bit more of a mattifying coverage look. Side note, look at my earrings. I never change up my earrings that much. I have these Minnie Mouse ones that I found because I have like a jewelry mirror that opens up and I can store jewelry that I never go in. So it was kind of nostalgic this morning when I was looking through it. But I found these and I'm like, it kind of matches my shirt, so I'm going to wear it. I just did one layer and I think that's all I'm going to do because I don't want to overdo it. A lot of times I think I overdo foundation. And then I'm going to take my Catrice Liquid Camouflage Concealer and a little bit of my e.l.f. 16 Hour Camo Concealer. They're both camo. The Catrice is a little more hydrating. I'm actually running low on the Catrice one. I have gone through like 4 or 5 of these Catrice concealers. It's not even funny. It's more of a formal event. I'm going to add a little more coverage. On my chin, I want to try to stick to the Catrice concealer just because I know that this e.l.f. one might start to look a little drying, and I don't want that. I don't really think I like this sponge that much. I just feel like this sponge is drying really fast. I just love this spray for like everything. Adding moisture, if my skin needs some dewiness. I mean, it's just a good facial spray. I try this powder out for the first time. This is the Ciate Extraordinary Translucent Powder. I just have a tiny little sample of it. It's like white. The one thing with translucent powders is they usually tend to be so white, and I don't like that. Makeup Revolution Liquid Highlighter. One thing I noticed, I really don't love this liquid highlighter that much, but I kind of wanted to try it out. Again, just because I feel like it does add kind of like a strip to your face. But I wanted to try it out just to add some glow. I hope I didn't get enough, like too much powder right in this area. I just feel like sometimes it can look stripey. Everybody's always like, these are like the Cover FX one, but I personally like, I don't even own the Cover FX ones, but I know what they're like. I've played around with them before and I've swatched them and put them on my face, and I don't think they're really like it. I'm going to add some dew to my skin. Powder, I really don't want to add a lot of powder to my skin, but because I want this to be long wearing and because I don't want it to stick to like the region of like where my bronzer and blush and stuff go, I'm going to take my Maybelline Super Stay Better Skin. This kind, they redid it, so like they reformulated it. I haven't tried the new one. I'm scared to. I've heard it's not as good. I'm really sad because I freaking love this stuff. So use your favorite powder. I like the e.l.f. one, the e.l.f. finishing powder. I could use that Ciate one over my face, but you know. I just want to like hit it right here where I know I'm going to be adding powder products. And then I am going to put it on my chin for a little extra coverage. I do like this powder because it does add extra coverage to your skin. I want to kind of be careful with hitting it too much like right here in my forehead because I tend to get dry there. For bronzer, I'm going to use my Benefit Hoola just because I feel like being a little bougie, even though it's not that bougie. I just feel like this one might be a little warm though, actually. Now that I think about it, I am going to go in with my Milani because I think this one might be a little too warm. I mean, I know like it's bronzer, but I still think it's going to be too warm for my look. I kind of want it all to go together. This one's more cool tone. This Milani Silky Matte Bronzer. I have the shade Sun Kiss, which is the second one, the second deepest. This one is a little more cool tone than the lighter one. A little bit to the nose so it doesn't look too just sitting there. I am going to contour. I'm going to take my Profusion Contour Palette Makeup Case. They don't sell this exact one anymore, but they do sell one very similar, so I'll link that one below. I'm going to go into light and medium contour. I'm going to mix the two right there. I don't need a lot. I don't want a lot either. I feel like my foundation, it didn't get set enough there because I feel like it's sticking. I want to focus more on the back and bring it in just a little bit. Go back to my bronzer brush and just blend it out. I am going to actually clean it up a little bit. I'm going to be extra today. And go into this beige highlight and just clean it up. I really don't like to use a lot of powder in my face, but for the sake of the event that we are going to, I do want to clean it up a little bit. Because I have a little bit more of a cool tone look on my eye, I'm going to take my Flower Beauty Flower Pot Blush in Sweet Pea. It's a little more of a cool tone look. These are great blushes. I also like the LA Girl blushes. I'm not really a big blush person, so I don't want to add too much, but this will add a nice flush to the cheeks. you want to add a little blush. Even if you don't like blush, you want to add a little bit just to add some kind of color back into your skin. You don't want to look like really bronze and then have highlight and like no, like you don't want to look dead. You want to have a little bit of life in your skin. I'm going to take the Catrice highlighting powder. I don't think you can get this anymore. I found it on Amazon. I'll link it down below. I know they're selling out with these, but I just want to kind of dust it all over my face with this fan brush from Morphe, just because I want to add some glow. Before highlighter, I want to go back in and do my under eyes, just because I feel like doing that. So I'm going to go back into Hush Hush, which is the shade I originally went in with in my crease, and just with a more stubbier brush, just hit right under the eyes, just so it all kind of comes together. And I think that's all I'm going to do. Take my mascara. I'm going to take my Flower Beauty Shimmer and Strobe Highlighting Palette. I feel like this is the most versatile palette that is good for days like this. I would spray my, I did just put L'Oreal Lash Mascara on. If you want your highlight to look even more like wet and dewy, I would spray my face first. I'm just going to go in. I'm going to go into the Champagne shade. This pink one is a little too pink for me, so I'm going to go in with the Champagne shade, which is really cool tone, and add, some glow. That's a lot of highlight. This highlight will emphasize your pores. I'll dip a little bit into the pink just so it doesn't look too cool toned, but then I'm going to go in with my sponge and blend it out. I do like this Flower Beauty palette. This is not a natural everyday palette, and it can emphasize a little bit, so if you have a lot of texture that you don't want to emphasize, do not go with this. Buy the Smashbox Spotlight palette. This one is really pretty because this is my backup one actually in the shade Pearl. This is really pretty. It's going to give you a really pretty highlight, but it's not going to emphasize too much texture. I really like it. I take a little bit of my Essence Make Me Brow Gel just to set the brows. This one's in blonde, so it's going to highlight them a little bit just so they kind of stay in place. I don't do this a lot, like on an everyday basis necessarily, but for an event, it's not a bad idea. I actually have this Wet n Wild brow highlight that I want to put a little bit in the outer line of my eye, just to add some brightness so my eyes don't get too dark. Now I'm going to set my face with the Morphe setting spray. I'm almost out of this. I absolutely love this stuff. I think this is like the most amazing setting spray. Then for lips, I do like this liquid lipstick from Gerard Cosmetics. It's the Hydra Matte liquid lipstick in Skinny Dip. Although it is a liquid lipstick and it's going to dry my lips out. So, apply this so I have at least a color on. Honestly, on prom, I probably won't really wear a lip product. I'll probably put a lip gloss on and then let it wear off and that be that, because I really don't like liquid lipsticks and I don't want to deal with it, and I really don't care about lip products. I'm not a big lip product person. I'm going to take my Dose of Colors lip gloss in Messy Bun, which is a more cool tone, just to put it on top. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Let me know, are you going to prom this year? I know I have a lot of older viewers. Did you like that I did this tutorial-ish video? Should I do more tutorials for different events? I could do maybe a warm tone one if you would like a more warm tone. Just let me know. I hope you'll subscribe to my channel if you're new. I'd love to have you stick around. Don't forget that you definitely can add false lashes, and on prom I will be adding false lashes. But just since it's like an everyday look, I don't really feel the need to add them, because I don't want to put them on for the sake of the video and then rip them off and then have to redo my makeup for the day. So I'm just going to wear this today. It is more glam, but you know, it is what it is. Please subscribe to my channel if you are new here. I'd love to have you stick around, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.